Hello, Alliance members. Today in the studio, we have Miss Belinda and Nicole Smart. And today we're going to talk about self-care and the proper, most effective way to do self-care.
Yes.
Because I don't think I'm doing it right.
I don't think I am either.
Self-care can be stressful if you're not doing it right. I learned that from experience.
Yeah, because we was talking earlier off camera, I go to the gym a lot. I see physical results, but like you were saying, I'm in the gym and I'm not in the gym some days. Some days I'm still thinking about
Work,
school, all kinds of stuff. So if you could tell us what is the best way to practice self-care?
Okay, so I'll give you kind of an example. When I started practicing...
How did you learn about self-care?
I started practicing self-care. I went to a learning lab, and we were going around, and everybody was telling what they did for self-care, and they had all these great things. They were putting on face masks, and they were painting their fingernails, and they were eating popcorn and just really enjoying themselves. And I thought, oh my God, I've got to do self-care, so I need to go home and do this because I'm not doing something where I'm not taking care of myself. So I went home and I painted my whole finger. I painted my whole finger. I stressed out putting a face mask on, dyed my hair with the face mask. And it was just a really stressful event. And the next day I went to work. I was just really stressed out. I didn't clear my mind at all. I didn't sleep well that night. And I had to look at it as, okay, I'm not doing something wrong. I'm just not doing it correctly or not being effective with it. So I had to find a place where I could go that nothing around me would really be distracting. So I went to the city park. And I just stared at the lake. And as I was looking at that lake, all my mind kept going to was, oh my God, I did not turn in this assignment at school. I've got a 50-page paper to write. I'm going to flunk that test tomorrow. I have 7 clients to see at work tomorrow, and I have to leave early and go to school. And so every time my mind would wander off to that, I would see the ducks pass by, and I thought, I'm going to focus on these ducks. I'm going to focus on these ducks. So I would redirect myself, and I would find that peaceful moment where I wasn't thinking about any of that other stuff at work, where I wasn't thinking about school, where me and that duck were right there. So my mind decompressed that day, and for the first time, I felt like I was able to really exhale. And I went home, and I cooked dinner. I spent a little time with my family. It gave me a whole sense of peace. Just redirecting myself in that very moment where nothing mattered except for me and that duck. And in that moment, I was able to breathe and not be stressed about school. I was able to not be stressed about my job. Even though it was just 10 minutes, 10 minutes made the difference in that whole evening and the entire next day.
Yeah, it definitely lingers. I think I've heard about techniques.
It's like mindful meditation.
Where you use like a rubber band to help yourself to be in the now. And you do that.
I don't agree with inflicting pain, but yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Another technique you were talking about was yoga. You get
Yes.
your yoga instructor. So
Yes.
how does that?
Yoga is a good self-care because you're aligning your mind and your body, and you're in that moment aligning your mind and your body, and everything is flowing really freely out of all the stress. You can do some stress targeted yoga moves. All the stress is releasing. Everything is releasing from you at that point. And then when you get up and you're done and you do your meditation pose and release that last air, it's just like you're breathing out all those problems of your day.
I think that not only releases thoughts in your mind, but also it helps your
Endorphins.
health.
Yes.
Because stress is very toxic. It will almost
That
kill
has
you,
a
make you
lot to
sick.
do with breathing. That
Yes.
yoga stuff
Yes.
helps you control your breathing. Learn different patterns on how to breathe.
Yes.
Nice.
And every time that you take in a breath, you reset your mind to that moment. It's connected to the nerves in your diaphragm. When you take that deep breath in, those calming breaths. Have you ever heard of the calming breaths? It's called the vagus nerve that they're connected to. I'm not going to get really into science on you, but I read a book about it, and I studied it some in school, and it's called the vagus nerve, and it's attached to all the nerves in your lungs, your diaphragm, your kidneys, your liver. And when you take a deep breath, you reset that nerve, that vagus nerve, and it sends a sense of calm and it brings you back to the moment.
Learned something today. Can I use that in the gym?
Absolutely. I call it 3 breaths on purpose. In through the nose, take in 4 for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, then out for 9.
I was reading something once on self-care, like recently, because I have an older daughter that's 19, and she said, do you know that since I've known you like her whole life, she said, you never sit down to eat supper? Like, I'll take a bite and run and do something, and take a bite and run and do
Yeah.
something after I feed everybody. So I guess I'm not used to eating like hot food. Like, I'll wait forever. But she's like, Mom, you just don't sit down. So I was reading about the self-care, and I was like, how do people function this way? Because my mind is always, but that's a good idea to go sit somewhere and just.
Yeah, or just have
Watch
one
it.
hot meal with your family a week.
Right.
Just one a week. When I started my self-care journey, I was doing it one time a week. After I finally had that aha moment, okay, I'm here, I did this. And I was doing it one time a week, and I did that for several weeks. And then I developed a daily routine. And I think it's when I developed that daily routine that the stress of life didn't really hit me as hard. I used to be really dramatic. Like a problem would happen, I'd freak out. Oh my God. Oh, how am I going to deal with this? Now it's just like, okay, it's a problem.
Right.
We're going to handle it. So when you're taking care of yourself and you have good self-care hygiene, the problems in your life seem a lot smaller than they are.
How would you advise somebody that has never done yoga, freaks out all the time, to even try to start? Where would they start?
Don't paint your fingernails, and do not put on a pink face mask, because it will dye your hair and you'll go to work with your whole finger painted, and it's very stressful. I would say go to the park or go somewhere where you can just be away from everything, where you can just watch the wind and watch the trees and really redirect those thoughts back to where you're at in that very moment, because that moment is what matters. This moment right here is what matters, not the past, because it's already gone.
Yeah.
Not the future, because you haven't made it yet. If you make that moment good, the next moment will be good.
So, like, engage in something that's bigger than you.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, nature.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Or just a routine of comfort. I mean, if you like to sit and eat a whole gallon of ice cream, eat the whole gallon of ice cream once a
That's
week.
bad
Indulge
advice.
yourself in that
yourself,
gallon of
Russell.
ice cream. And while you're indulging yourself in that gallon of ice cream, let each thought go down like that bite of ice cream. Okay, that thought is gone.
let's start off with a pint.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Chunky Monkey's good. You can focus on the nut.
Rush will have us on yogurt and sugar-free, and
Yeah.
that's not self-care. No.
So does it have to be something physical, or can I, like,
No.
if I don't read a lot, could I maybe look at something on YouTube or read something on YouTube?
Yeah,
or
it's
something
whatever
educational?
you are comfortable with, whatever you can clear your mind with. It's self-care is individualized to each person. You have to find your thing.
Could volunteering be one of them?
Yes, it could.
I think one of the first things, too, is to tell yourself it's okay to take a break from
Yeah.
self-care.
Absolutely.
Because I always think of 50 other things I should be doing.
Yeah,
that-
and it is okay to take a break. I mean, I look at it like this. I run my car because I just drive it to death. It's a poor little thing. It's been through everything. I run it, and I run it till it almost runs out of gas. I never change the oil. And what happens when you don't change the oil and you don't put gas in your car?
Breakdown.
Your
Yeah.
car stops. This
Yeah.
is your car. This is your car. If this stops, where are you at?
Yeah, somewhere in the hospital.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting from you is, like, you got to reset and recharge.
Mm-hmm.
And the self-care is the most effective way to do it.
Yes, it's the most important way to do it. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're not taking care of your recovery, you're not taking care of your family, you're not taking care of your job, you're not taking care of your school, you're not taking care of your life, because you're running your car on empty.
Yeah, that's real important.
It is.
Do you have anything?
No, it was very informative, because I think those are some of the things that a lot of us just, this era, this generation, we don't stop because we're constantly going.
Or
Like-
watching TikTok?
I don't really watch that,
I don't even have that.
but my mind's always going. Even if I'm sitting here, I'm not really here. I'm thinking about
Yeah.
the next thing.
And you're talking to people and you're going, because you're thinking about school and work and everything else. But when you recharge, those thoughts are able to go and you're able to focus.
What about, can you mix self-care with a hobby? Is that
Well, yeah,
possible?
if you enjoy a hobby and you're able to get into that hobby and let go of those thoughts, let go of that day at work, let go of that day at school or that semester, those semester tests. The hardest time that I ever had to practice my self-care was during semester tests. It was just like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
But then when I didn't, I was breaking down. I mean, my last year of college, I was really freaking out. I thought, oh, I'm not going to make it. I'm flunking everything, and it was getting just overwhelming to me. And then I took my time and I did my yoga and I said, no matter what I have to study, no matter what tests I have to take, no matter what's happening, I'm not giving up this 20 minutes that I do this yoga. I'm not giving up this 20 minutes. And that I looked forward to that 20 minutes twice a day. I mean, it was like the whole day. Oh, I can't wait for it. Can't wait to get there. Because I knew I was fixing to release everything at that point.
Yeah. Well, that's some good stuff.
It is.
Well, thank you for being on, and thank you for being on,
Yeah.
Miss Nicole.
Yeah.
Yes.
And thank you guys once again, Alliance members, for tuning in. Hopefully you guys learned something about self-care, self-love. It's something that needs to be done. Thank you guys.